Want to know the secret to a perfect paint job? It's not the paint, it's the prep. Ever wondered why your paint job looks patchy or peels off? It's probably because you skipped these crucial steps. Today, I'm going to show you how to prep a wall like a pro, so your paint looks flawless and lasts for years. First things first, let's gather our tools. You're going to need a few things to get started. Grab 2 buckets, a sponge, and some mild detergent. For repairs, you'll need spackle or wall filler, a putty knife, and some fine grit sandpaper. To get the wall ready for paint, you'll need a good quality primer, a roller or a brush, some painter's tape, and of course, plastic sheeting or drop cloths to protect everything. Having all your materials ready will make the whole process so much smoother. All right, let's prep the room. This is a step you definitely don't want to rush. Start by moving all the furniture out of the room, or, if that's not possible, move it to the center and cover it completely with plastic. Next, lay down your drop cloths or plastic sheeting on the floor, making sure every inch is covered. Use painter's tape to secure the edges to the baseboards. Don't forget to protect your outlets and light switches. You can either remove the faceplates or tape over them carefully. A little extra time here saves a lot of cleanup later. Now for the cleaning. You might think your walls are clean, but you'd be surprised how much dust, grime, and even grease can build up. This invisible layer can prevent your paint from sticking properly. Fill 1 bucket with warm water and a little bit of mild detergent. Use your sponge to gently wash the walls from top to bottom. Then, with your second bucket filled with clean water, rinse the walls to remove any soap residue. Let the walls dry completely before you move on to the next step. This can take a few hours, so be patient. With our walls clean and dry, it's time to inspect for any imperfections. Look for any nail holes, cracks, dents, or bumps. This is where your spackle or filler comes in. Using your putty knife, apply a small amount of filler to each hole or crack. Try to make it as smooth and level with the wall as possible. Don't overfill it, but make sure the imperfection is completely covered. Let the filler dry according to the instructions on the package. Once it's completely dry, take your fine grit sandpaper and gently sand the patched areas until they're perfectly smooth and flush with the rest of the wall. Once all the small repairs are done, it's time for a light overall sanding. I know, more sanding. But trust me, this is key. Gently sanding the entire wall surface creates a slightly rough texture, which helps the new primer and paint grip onto the wall much better. It also smooths out any minor bumps you might have missed. Use a sanding pole for larger areas to make it easier. After sanding, the wall will be covered in a fine layer of dust. You must clean this off. You can use a damp cloth or a vacuum with a brush attachment. The wall needs to be dust-free before we can prime. Now for one of the most skipped yet most important steps, priming. Why is primer so important? Well, it does a few things. It seals the surface, so your paint won't just soak into the wall, which saves you money on paint. It blocks stains from bleeding through, and it provides a uniform surface for the paint to adhere to, giving you a consistent, even color. Apply 1 even coat of primer to the entire wall using your roller. Start with the edges using a brush, a technique called cutting in, then fill in the main area with your roller. Let the primer dry completely. Check the can for specific drying times. Before we wrap up, here are a few extra pro tips. First, always make sure your room is well ventilated. Open windows and doors to let fresh air circulate. Second, be patient. Each step, especially drying, takes time. Rushing will only lead to a poor result. And third, if you're unsure about your color or technique, test it out on a small hidden area first, like behind a door or a piece of furniture. Let's also talk about some common mistakes to avoid. The biggest one is skipping the cleaning step. Painting over a dirty wall is a recipe for disaster. Another common error is not sanding properly or at all. This will lead to a rough finish and poor adhesion. And please, do not skip the primer. It might seem like an extra step, but it's the foundation of a great paint job. Finally, don't rush the drying times. Applying paint over wet filler or primer will ruin your finish. So, to recap the key steps. First, prepare your room and gather your materials. Second, clean the walls thoroughly and let them dry. Third, repair any holes or cracks and sand them smooth. Fourth, do a light sanding over the entire wall and clean the dust. And fifth, Apply an even coat of primer and let it dry completely. Follow these steps and you're guaranteed to have a beautiful, professional-looking result that you can be proud of. Your wall is now perfectly prepped and ready for its new color. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this tutorial helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you won't miss our future projects. If you have any questions or want to share your own painting results, drop a comment below. We'd love to hear from you. See you in the next video.